explain what this video is. We're just gonna be like, we're on FaceTime together, which means that this video is gonna be minimally edited, and it's really just gonna be me talking to you. So I hope that's okay.
Hi. I have to go out tonight, so you just wanna pretend like we're on FaceTime while I get ready to go do that?
And we're gonna get a little fancy. How does that sound? We're just gonna fancy it up. Because I gotta go out, and I don't go out a lot. I just don't. And how was your day? Me? How was my day? Well, I mean, busy. I can't remember the last day in my life that wasn't busy, but I feel good about being busy, especially this time of year in winter, especially being back in my hometown. It's a lot darker here in the winter than it is on the island. It's much colder here than it is on the island, and if we're being so for real, it's a lot more depressing. Also, before we get into it too far, I washed my hair early today. I had hot yoga, so I had a shower, let it air dry. This is just air dried and brushed. I have already put heat protectant in it. I do it when my hair is wet, because that's how you're supposed to do it apparently, is when your hair is wet. But I always like to do a little bit of extra just on my ends, because it feels right to me. And especially on this underside where I used to have the split dye that I miss all the time, by the way. Sometimes I go back and watch those videos a year and a half ago where I had the dark on top and the bleached blonde underneath, and I loved my Malfoy hair. It was, oh, I loved it so much, but it ruined my hair. It really did. All this hair underneath, I had to stop. We're gonna start with hair. I've already done my skincare, so we're starting with hair. And on my skin right now is this little combo we've got here. Right out of the shower, I always pop on a little hyaluronic acid while my face is wet. The climate here is so dry. I need that extra hydration. And what I've been doing is taking these Glinda Glow Drops, which Jordan bought for me, thank you Jordan, as a treat. I've been mixing like a pump of this with 2 or 3 drops of my jojoba oil. I found that the Glinda Drops they weren't drying on my skin, but they dried down really fast to the point where like I couldn't spread them out and I was going back for more product. And it says 1 pump is enough. So adding that oil gave me the work time, and I can work it into my hands, into my décolletage. Décolletage? Is that correct? Décolletage. And I find that it dries down way less quick, and you also get the extra hydration from an oil. There are skincare ingredients in here though. I'm going to use this Conair Instant Heat. I think it's an inch, maybe 1.5 inch barrel. And I thrifted this. I either thrifted this or it's my mom's from when she was my age or younger probably, that I took in high school. I can't remember which one this is. I actually think this is one I thrifted a couple of years ago. And I'm going to put it on 35 and let it heat up. This is how I like to do my faux blowouts. I love to give myself a blowout, but it isn't always like conducive to time or my life. And today I just didn't have the 30 minutes to stand here and do that. So I didn't. Shocker. Okay. I'm gonna pop some of this Vaseline healing jelly on my lips while we do this so it can sink in. I did my skincare a while ago. I'm just gonna put the smallest drops of this jojoba oil on my skin while I'm at the end of my bottle here. While I do my hair. Again, hydration is so key to me, and locking all that in is vital. Anyway, my day. Oh yeah, I went to yoga this morning. It was amazing. It was a power flow, and it was really hard, like really humbling and really hard, but really good. I like it when I'm not the best person at whatever we're doing. I like being humbled by yoga, and I like it when there's other people who are better than me and I have something to aspire to. Does that make sense? Do you feel that way? But the instructor was really great and really nice. The bulk of my hair behind, and that's how I like to find my bangs. And I just kind of find them, you know? I cut them myself, so I'm pretty good at finding them. And whatever's too long, I just pull out. Should be a little bit more there. Yeah. I always start with my bang. And I have my roller off to the side, and I like to run the roller through my bang just to line everything up. I feel like that gives me a better result in the end. And I'm just gonna take my curling iron and bump my bangs under. So, if you can see, I'm just gonna go like this I'm gonna bump him under. Sorry, Jordan just texted me. He's home from work, which is so nice. Bump him and hold it for like 10-ish seconds. I guess I should explain what this video is. We're just gonna be like, we're on FaceTime together, which means that this video is gonna be minimally edited, and it's really just gonna be me talking to you. So I hope that's okay. I mean, if you clicked on it, then I'm sure it's okay. And always remember, you can talk back. I may not listen because I'm not there. Oh, it's in from a bang. And I leave that in here. It's going to be left in there for a long time, so get used to this face. Looking like this. Anyway. And I thought it would be fun if we just, like, hung out. And I just, like, talked at you for a while, which is, like, something I like to do. Here's how I do this. I start on whatever side you want to start with. I'm going to start with my left. I'm going to take a chunk kind of like this. Flat. You see that? See that chunk? I'm just going to curl it. And I always curl away from my face. So these curls are going under. I'm putting the clip on the bottom. I'm doing this. Run it. I don't go all the way to the end. I start to wrap. And when I get halfway up, I kind of loosen it and get that little end in. I don't know why, but I've always done it that way. I think I had a hairdresser tell me to do it that way when I was a teenager, and I just always have. You know, there's things like that you do in life that are just like always... You learn how to do it one way, and now that's just the way you do it. And part of me really likes that, but part of me also finds that, like, really frustrating, especially when it stops you from learning things in new ways. Like, curling my hair the same way, or knowing the techniques I like to use to curl my hair is one thing. But that doesn't ever stop me from, like, Googling, not necessarily Googling, but, like, scrolling on the internet. And if someone tells me or showing, like, a different way of doing it, I don't discount it, and I'll give it a go. And I'll adopt it if I like it better. You know, being stagnant is one of my worst fears in life, is that one day I'll just say, that's enough. I'm done learning. I'm done. I'm just gonna go into autopilot now, or be a person who says, well, that's the way I've always done it, so that's the way I'm gonna do it. That is, like, probably my biggest fear. Just wanted to start this video off really light. Was I talking about my biggest fear in life? Yeah, that's my biggest fear. What's your biggest fear? And it can't be, like, spiders or heights or anything like that, because, I mean, like, your actual, like, if 30 years from now you found out this thing about yourself, or, like, you know what I mean? What would be the scariest thing, you know? I think about that a lot. And I think about how to connect not only, like, past Madison with future Madison, like, I'm bridging that with present me, you know, but also, like, how what am I going to think about this about myself in 10 years? Because I think, like, most people when I was younger, especially, like, in my, like, early teens, I really didn't care about future me. I didn't really care about her at all. And honestly, I think, like, a lot of people, I actually did things that made it harder for future me so that present me then could have more fun or do less or whatever, like, and I don't like that. It doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't make me feel good. And even in the moment, and now as an adult, I think about, I could just lay down for all day and not do these things I needed to do, or do these things I wanted to do, or whatever it is. I go, yeah, I could fuck off and not do all that and pay the price tomorrow. But that actually motivates me now, because I don't want to pay the price tomorrow, because paying the price tomorrow means there's interest, and I'm either it's going to be more stressful, I'm going to have more things I need to do that day. And I even apply that to, like, things for, like, not only tomorrow Madison, but next week Madison, next month Madison, 10 years from now Madison. And I mean, obviously there's a balancing act, like everything. I can't be living in the future, but I also don't want to be so living in the present that I'm stuck and nothing ever... Does that make sense? I mean, you're gonna have to tell me if that makes sense to you. I struggle with depression and anxiety, and I had a therapist once tell me that depression is fear and anger about the past, and anxiety is fear and anger about the future, and they work hand in hand, and they both make it so that present you is suffering. And I've been really, like, working on making sure that present me isn't suffering, but also that future me doesn't have to suffer, because for present me to enjoy. Like, I think there's a balance there. Just because I don't think working hard or taking care of yourself or doing these things is suffering. Like, I really did think that for a long time. I went, I have to go to the gym, or I have to eat right, or I have to take care of myself this way. Oh, Keenan just went to the shower. like, I have to do this for the future version of me to be happy, and it means that I have to suffer in the present. And I also don't think that's true. Enjoy your life and be present and do those things that take care of the future version of you. This is just some hairspray from my grandma's closet. Without it being like detrimental to your future self. Yes, I'm a hairspray girl. I grew up dancing, like professionally and competitively. Hairspray is my best friend. That's something I've definitely been working on. And I think that's where the like getting my shit together theme comes from. You know, like I wanna get it so that I can enjoy my life now and later. So that I get to this point where looking back, I don't go, oh, I wish I had done this or I should have done that. Like, I want to feel good about the choices I'm making. I'm making choices that future Madison is going to be proud of. And future Madison's going to go, oh, past Madison, thank you. You know, you. Like, have you ever done something like that for yourself where you, like, prep something or you do something and you do it even though it was, like, a little more extra work and then future you gets to reap the rewards? Can I think of an example right now? No. But I feel like that's, I don't know, my goal. That's my goal. So now you know my biggest fear, you know my biggest goal. I'm just gonna finish curling my hair for a sec, and I'll meet you at makeup, okay? I'll meet you at makeup. Hold on. Hold please. Bathroom break. Okay. Hair's curled. And yes, I will be brushing it out, but I like to let them set for as long as possible. So we're gonna finish the hair when the makeup is done. So this is my face. Not in natural light because it is 4:30 and it's that dark outside. I have a light down here. Like, that's how dark it is in here. I have one of my, like, panel lights down here to try to give us enough light. I like to start with my eyebrows. And for my eyebrows, I use four things. Two of them are the same thing. These are the NYX Professional Makeup Lift and Snatch brow tint pens. I really do actually like these. They are like that brush tip type. I'm really into that. And I like the color, I use brunette and ash brown. Yes, it's extra that I use both, but brunette is too warm and ash brown is too cool. So I use both in both brows to make sure I'm getting like the cool warmth that matches my hair. I like to start with ash brown, and I'm just gonna like put my little eyebrows on. Oh, this is a spoolie. And the other thing I use is the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel, but honestly, I'll use any brow gel. And I'll use any tipped brow thing that is the brush. Like, it's the little brush hairs. I find the little brush hairs do it for me. And I just have, my gram has this mirror. Do you want to say hi to yourself? Hi, Sal. My gram has this mirror. I normally do this in my little compact, my Charlotte Tilbury compact, but I've got this, so I'm gonna use it. Give my brows a good brush out. You guys aren't here for a tutorial. You're here to hang out with me. So, like, do you really need to see everything I'm doing? If you really want to see everything I'm doing, I can do, like, an in-depth video of how I make myself look fancy. But I don't really think you want to see that. So we've discussed... Oh god, I'm realizing that doing my brows, I normally am very quiet. So we've discussed, like, my biggest fear, which is, like, being a person who doesn't evolve or change anymore. We discussed my biggest dream, which is, like, my current goals, which is, like, to make future Madison satisfied and proud with the decisions that current Madison has made, that I can look back and say, yeah, no, girl, you really did that. And I'm really grateful that you did that for me. Thank you. So fears, goals, or fears, hopes and dreams, or fears and, like, current goals and, like, stuff like that. See how the ash brown is, like, I feel like we should talk about, have I ever told you guys why I started a YouTube channel in the first place? I think I've talked a little bit about this on the vlog channel or on the old vlogs I did on my main channel, and maybe a little bit in a couple of videos, but I don't think I've ever told you guys the whole story. So here, let me tell you the story. So I was actually a corporate girly pop. I actually really loved it. I worked for a bank here in Canada, one of the big 5, and I got into it because a family friend had worked there, worked at the bank for like 20 years, and I was working like 4 jobs and going to university, and this family's friend said, oh, Madison, I'm so bored at work. I hate everybody I work with. Come and, or she didn't hate everybody, but you know what I mean? Like, she wasn't friends with any of the people she worked with, and she said, oh, I wish you worked there. I love hanging out with you. And I said, sure, I'll apply. And somehow I passed the psych eval, and somehow I passed everything, and they let me work there. And about 3 months into me working at this bank, at this branch, they announced that we were closing. They were closing the branch I worked at. And because of that, and that was here in my hometown. And then because of that, a bunch of different people from Vancouver Island who worked at the same bank came and helped us out because we lost a bunch of staff and they were downsizing and all that. And so these people came to help us so that we could stay open in like the transition process. Do you see how that's better? It just is to me. And through that, I met some amazing people. And I ended up Jordan and I ended up taking a trip to Vancouver Island that summer. And we fell in love. We fell in love with Victoria. We fell in love with the city. And I said to him, like, we're going to live here one day. Like, this is where we're going to be. This is where we're going to end up. I just know it. And then a couple months went by, and I was offered a job by one of the, like, branch managers on the island. And they said, come and work at this branch. And if you can figure out how to get here, come. So I went and we did that, and Jordan came a few months later. We did this big move and we lived on the island. It was great. Fast forward a few years, and we had made the decision I had moved up in the bank. I was no longer a teller. I was in like an office, and I was a personal banker, and I was like opening bank accounts and like stuff like that. And I loved it. I worked at a really amazing branch, and Jordan got offered a job at Apple headquarters. Not headquarters, but like the big one in Vancouver. And I said, like, we moved so far away for me, like, let's do that for you. And we did. At the end of 2019, that's what we did. And COVID happened. So, you know, like the whole pandemic that occurred. Okay, here are the eyebrows. These are the eyebrows. And next, I like to do blush. I use two cream blushes. This is the NYX Wonder Stick. It's a dual-ended in honey, orange, and rose. And I use the rose side as like my base. And so we did that move at the end of 2019. Pandemic hit. Everything shut down. I was still working at the bank there. And sorry, you were overheating, so I went and got you an ice pack from the freezer. The pandemic hit. I was still working at a bank in Vancouver, and I am not going to go into detail about what happened because it was not the most traumatizing thing that's ever happened to me. But the craziest things that have ever happened to me, like, and it was really, really bad. It was like the beginning days, like March through like July of 2020 were really dark and really terrible there. And I mean, people were all coping, and I'm not going to judge people for coping, but I will judge you for spitting in my face, for pulling my mask, for stomping on my feet, because I was that girl at the front of the bank doing the like mandatory like questionnaires and things that we had to do. I didn't have a choice. Whether I wanted to do that or not, that was my job. And it was what I was there to do. So it was really bad. It was really, really bad. I don't want to but so that was happening, and I ended up, oh my goodness, you guys are falling over. I ended up having to go on stress leave. It was that bad. I was crying every day, and people were doing it to all of us. They were all terrible. Okay, I got my cream blush on. I'm gonna go in with my concealer. I don't use foundation or anything. I just use this CoverGirl True Blend concealer and this Physicians Formula concealer. This one's too light for me. This one's too dark because that's what I have. And it was really terrible. It messed me up in a way that like I no longer have like customer service availability, like, and people, large crowds, things like that. It really scares me. Like, it puts me in that like fight or flight mode. So I left the bank and I went on stress leave, and I wanted to go back, but it just never really got better. And I ended up getting a job with a small mortgage brokerage doing work from home stuff. They were based in Vancouver. I would go to the office sometimes, but it was mostly work from home. And it was great because it was all like what's called B2B. It was all business to business. So I actually didn't like the mortgage brokers dealt with the clients. I never had to talk to a client ever. I was talking to appraisers and other mortgage brokers and stuff like that. So I was never dealing with the public. And I really think that that's probably the only like real job I could ever have again in that sort of setting, because what happened during COVID was just like that confrontation, even now, like, the thinking about it scares me. Like, I'm getting the shakies. It was really bad. People were terrible. And so I really loved it, but the end of 2020, what year is it now? 2024? At the end of 2022, essentially we were like a small boutique brokerage, and with the like crazy mortgage collapse that happened and the housing collapse, and like the way things were, they like laid off 90% of the staff. There was only like 8 of us, and I think there was only 2 people who stayed, and they really downsized, and I was a part of those layoffs. And when that happened, it happened at the end of the year. It happened in December, and I had been wanting to try this for a long time. I've been wanting a YouTube channel since I was like 10. Since like the days of like Jenna Marbles and Leanne Says and what was her name? It was like the days of the original Beauty Gurus, like when Jaclyn Hill was before Jaclyn Hill was Jaclyn Hill, and before all that happened, that sort of thing. Like, that's the era of YouTube I grew up on. It. I was like, oh, I want to do that so bad. And I remember being a teenager, and I would like pretend to record videos, but I was like never brave enough to post them and all that. Career, blah blah blah. Anyway, fast forward. This is just a little Fenty lip gloss. I'm just putting a little bit on just to get some color in my lips, because I hate it when they look like they have concealer and stuff all over them. Anyway, and so Jordan said, you know, Madison, like, he said, babe, you have supported us. I was the breadwinner for a bunch of years when he was in school. I was in here for like a decade. And in that, he said, Madison, take the time. I had saved up a little nest egg to like a rainy day fund, and he said, this is the rainy day. Start the channel. And I made that first video of me doing that like wall art, and I loved it. That video was so hard to make. Filming it was like, and it's a mess, but I am so proud of it, and I'm so proud of every video I've made, because I learn something every time, and I'm like, I feel like I get better and better at this every time. This is just the e.l.f. setting mist. I have all my cream products on, so I'm gonna set powder products set. If you don't do it that way, I don't know what to tell you, but this is, my makeup will not budge, and it will look good all night. And he really like gave me the permission to like take a shot and see what would happen. And that's how this was born, and how I was able to like do this and really like give it a fighting chance, you know? And I will always be like so grateful to him for that. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It blush. This was my grandma's. Found it in her cupboard. I like the color. It's pretty. It's nice and pink. I like pink blush. And he has supported me, like, not just like been like okay with me doing this, but he is like a YouTube boyfriend. When I had 50 subscribers, he was a YouTube boyfriend. That man will do anything for me. And that is like, I don't know what to tell you, but just like the greatest gift I could ever ask for and like wish upon anyone is to, you don't necessarily need to be like a romantic partner. Like have somebody in your life who doesn't just like say they support you, but like does all the things to support you. You know what I mean? And he really does that. And I hate to say that about a man, but he really does. And that is like the best. Okay, powder is on. This is the base. It's done. Not a professional. Is it perfect? No. Is there bronzer or contour? No, not my thing. Just blush, a little concealer, and some eyebrows. And I'm gonna move on to eyes. And I'm gonna go a little bit dramatic here. This is, can you tell how long ago I bought this? This is the Too Faced Sweet Peach. Yeah, yes, it still smells like peach palette. And can you tell I use this color, and this color, and that color? And that's it. But I think we're gonna use a little green tonight because I'm wearing black and green. So we'll see. But we are gonna do my little cat eye flick. And to do that, I just use one of these, like it's on the other end of my spoolie. It's like a little angled brush. And I just go into this brown here. Just go into it. Just kind of pack it and tap it and pack it and tap it. And I go right into my outer corner there and just like make a little flick. And then I take my spoolie and I clean up the edge. There's just a little flick there. And I do that same thing, you know, and my dream, obviously, like my channel is monetized. I'm always honest with you guys. I make probably like $3 or $4 a video on average. And I make about, like right now, I'm making like $50 a month doing YouTube. So it's not like I'm making any sort of real income, which I think will be changing soon because I might be picking up my mom's micro bakery. I don't know, haven't decided, but I'll let you guys know. We'll decide that too. But so it isn't really like making a crap ton of money, but that's like my goal. That's like my secondary goal, if we're being so real. My first goal is to like be a comfort creator, like be the kind of creator that I loved watching back in the day, like before YouTube became like all Mr. Beastie and stuff like that, and before YouTube became, I don't know, I feel like it's, obviously everything ends up being corrupted, but like before it became like you had to have the biggest, coolest, most amazing thing. I don't aspire to be a billionaire. I barely aspire to be a millionaire, but I only do because I know that it would give me like comfort, you know what I mean? And like let me live the life I want to live, which is pretty modest. Like I don't have dreams of having a Ferrari and a Birkin and things like that. My dreams are small in comparison. Like I dream of owning my own home one day. I dream of not having to like worry about my grocery bill. I worry about like not having to worry about making minimum payments on things. I dream of a life where I can just exist without all that like burden and worry and live a mildly comfortable life. And that's pretty much it. I don't need this to make me $1 bazillion, but I would love for it to be my job and my career, and it to be viable in that way that I could be someone you want to watch every week. I could be someone you want to turn into and someone you can trust. That I'm not gonna like, I don't want to say sell out because I don't think these people are sellouts. I think that these people just have different goals and different priorities. And my priority will always just be being myself and showing up that way. You know, like whatever looks like. I don't dream of mansions. I don't dream of like things like that. I dream of a beautiful home in the woods. I dream of the middle class. Is that crazy? I dream of a life where I can have 6 dogs and not worry about how I'm going to feed them. I dream of a life where I can tell my mom, hey mom, let's go on vacation. It's on me, and take my mom to Disneyland. I dream of a world where I can give back in some sort of meaningful way that I'm not able to now. Hold, please. I'm not done. I don't know why I took my bangs out. I still need to do mascara. And I still use one of these. I don't know if y'all do, but I do. And I dream, my dreams feel big to me because they're really far out of my reach. But they're not, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think you'll ever see me being the girl who has everything, because I don't desire everything. I don't dream of that. I dream of safety and security, and I dream of being comfortable, and I think that's pretty reasonable. You know? I dream of a world where I could tell Jordan to quit his job and he could go and finish his degree. I dream of a world where like my grandma needs dialysis equipment and I can just pay for it. You know, like that's what I dream of. I don't know what you dream of. I wish I knew what you dream of. Tell me what you dream of down below if you're still watching this, because I've just been talking at you for a while about myself, which is very Leo of me. You know, I dream of a world where I can just be unapologetically a Leo and talk at you, and that's fine. You know, like, I don't desire to be an expert at anything. I don't desire to conquer or ground break. I will, and I do all the time. But my goal will always be to like find my way and to do something that feels good to me, you know, and that I would be proud of. So, yeah. But anyway, this is my makeup. I'm actually, when we're doing fancy things like this, I like to do a little eyeshadow, which is like a little crazy for me. I'm just gonna go back into my palette and take this like light shade and go like this. I'm not even gonna look in the mirror. That's how crazy this is. I'm gonna look like this. And I'm gonna just do a little bit like this. Make it even. And then I'm gonna go into that same shade I did the eyebrow thing with, this one. I'm just gonna get a little bit on the tip of my brush, and I'm gonna do the 2013. You can't, because there isn't one. But there is to me in my heart. Oh. And I'm gonna bathe in setting spray again. And then we can brush out the curls, okay? Ooh, setting spray bath. Okay. Amazing! Here's how I make my curls last forever. So I hairsprayed them when they were still warm. This is an old dance trick. What you do is you take your brush that's dirty. It has to be a dirty brush, okay? There's tons of hair on there because you're gonna do this. You're gonna let it dry for a sec, and then you're gonna brush out your curls. And look at that. It's so smoothing. It leaves everything shiny, and it looks like I had a blowout. It looks like I gave myself a really beautiful blowout, but I didn't. It's all with curling iron, so simple and so easy. And then, here's the, piece de la resistance, okay? So, I don't know if the camera's picking up, but all my flyaways and all my new hair growth, I've been growing new hair, I've been working really hard at it. It sticks out. You take that hairspray and you take your hand, and yeah. You have to do the sound effect, okay? Stunning! And there she is. Hair and makeup. That will last and is bulletproof and just makes me feel fancy. So I actually lied. I'm not done. I got dressed. I thought I was, and then I remembered I wanted to put a bow in my hair. So I have one of these leftover bows from when we did that bow garland, the Anthropology bow garland. I had a bunch of extras, and I had extra ribbon. So I've made a little green bow. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the little princess hair thing back here. I'm gonna take this upper part of my hair, and I'm just gonna put one of these little elastics in it, and then do the princess hair trick, and you pull it out and you flip it. It's up like princess hair, you know? Can you see the little princess hair trick? Then you make your fronts look the way you want them. I like it to be a little messy, honestly. And then I'm gonna take my bow using 2 safety pins, and here's the trick. From the dancer's mouth, what you do, so the flat part of your bobby pin is the top, okay? The bottom part of the bobby pin is the bottom, or the grippy part, where all the bumps are, you see? And what you wanna do is you wanna bend it a little bit, like this. So the flat part up here has got the curve, and the bottom. You wanna have 2 bobby pins, just like that. You just want a little bit of a bend in them, so that they're curved like your head is curved. And then you're going to be making an X in the back in the loop of the bow. So you are just going to take the bow, situate it where you like it, and I'm going to kind of separate my hair like this. And in this space, I don't know if you guys are seeing any of that because I'm putting my back towards you. I'll just show you what it looks like when it's done. You get the gist, okay? Okay, it is pitch dark in here, so I don't know how well this is gonna go, but I'm putting you guys just on this kitchen table here. Here is the final outfit. Yes, it's all black because that's very me. I'm just wearing these boots that are my grandma's, these little tights, and this little sweater dress. It's Sunday's Best from Aritzia. And the jewelry is really where I shine. Oh, the hair bow is hair bowing. It's even cute. I have one of my Taylor Swift bracelets, my ring from my grandma, my ring from Jordan, my favorite little Seiko watch that I thrifted, my little permanent bracelet, obviously. And then these bracelets, my grandma has a couple I really love. And the necklaces, these pearls are my grandma's, and so this locket is my great grandma's, and then this chain is my grandpa's with my little saint on it that I don't know who it is or what it's about, and then obviously the bow in my hair. And I will be carrying my Prada bag tonight. In said Prada bag, garden gummies,
vitamin C, vitamin D, Tylenol 650s, and magnesium because I know these boys can't take care of themselves. Tampons, 5 lip glosses, some hand cream, my phone, some cash, sunglasses, even though it's going to be dark, and tampons because I'm a girl's girl. And I will also be drinking this Alani on the way. All right. Oh, you probably want to see Jordan really fast before this battery dies.
Oh. Hi.
He looks handsome. He has a sweater on and black pants. And he looks so cute and handsome. Are you ready to go, babe?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to hang up now. Love you. Bye.
Bye.